Oop, who's talking at me? We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Let's just talk about some horror movies. Well, it's July of 2024. As I record this, it is, in fact, still July of 2024. I've got just about an hour left, which means by the time you see this, of course, the month will have passed. I got this in the mail a couple days ago, but I've been busy and only just had time to make this video. But, of course, what you know if you've been watching these videos, you would recognize that this is the monthly HorrorPack. HorrorPack being the horror movie subscription service that every month sends us one of these wonderful little boxes containing some horror movies. This is the July package, and as is my way here on this channel, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to share with y'all whatever wonderful surprises I find inside. There's usually some good stuff in there, so let's get right to it. While I'm opening this up, let me remind you a couple of bookkeeping things. First of all, do all the YouTube-y things that help me grow this channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up, share this video, make sure you're subscribed and have rung the notification bell, all those kinds of things. There's the package. And while you're at it, be sure to buy my books. There's links down in the What's It. And in fact, if you're interested in whatever movies come out of this package, there will be purchase links down there as well, which also helps support my work here on this channel. All of those things are wonderful things for you to do and are very much appreciated. But without further ado, let's just dive right in and talk about that movie, since I'm sure that's really what y'all have tuned in for. And the first one to come out of the package is The Grudge, the Untold chapter, which is a sequel or perhaps prequel. I haven't actually seen this one, but it's another, whether it's sequel or prequel, it's another in the Grudge franchise. I have not seen all of the Grudge movies. I saw the first one. I saw the original, and I saw the American remake. The original better, American remake's not bad. And I've seen some of the sequels and spin-offs, but I've not seen all of them. This is one of the ones I've not seen. But let's read the description on the back and we'll see what it says. According to the description, a curse born in Japan is simultaneously unleashed in the U.S. Those who encounter it are consumed by its fury and met with a violent fate. Producer Sam Raimi brings us the Untold chapter of this horror classic, starring a bunch of people, with horror movie, etc., etc., and the darkest, creepiest, most shocking film in the series. Tells us really nothing about what this one specifically is about, except, well, Sam Raimi directing, or not directing, producing, I should say. Sam Raimi has done a lot of great work, so that lends it some credibility. The Grudge franchise has done some great things in the past. I'm not going to say all of them have been winners, but at least some of them have been. And this is one that I haven't yet seen, and one I'm looking forward to trying out. So I'd say we're off to a good start with The Grudge, the Untold chapter. Next, we have a film entitled Scars of Dracula. This is a Christopher Lee Hammer Dracula movie. And I know I've seen a lot of the Hammer Dracula movies. I've seen a lot of the Christopher Lee stuff. And I don't remember, the titles all sort of blur together and I struggle to remember which one is which. I don't recall whether this is one of the ones I've seen. I believe it is, but it's been a minute and I don't remember all of the details, so let me read the description on this one as well. It says, the legendary Christopher Lee is back as Dracula, bringing unspeakable horrors upon a local village that defies his evil reign. But when a young man and his luscious girlfriend unwittingly visit the Count's castle, they find themselves trapped in a face-to-face frenzy of bloodthirsty vixens, religious blasphemy, and sadistic henchmen. The Prince of Darkness has returned like never before, but will his horrific mark remain forever? So, Christopher Lee Hammer Dracula movie, you really can't go wrong. I am looking forward, like I said, I think I've seen this one, so I'm looking forward to re-watching this one and certainly refreshing my memory because it has been a minute and some of the Hammer Dracula movies have run together in my mind a little bit. But it's certainly good to get a Blu-ray copy of this. I have not managed to get all of the Hammer films in my Blu-ray collection yet, so I'm thrilled to have received this Scars of Dracula. And that actually seems like a trend recently in these horror packs, that we're getting some newer stuff like this Grudge, as well as some from the 70s. In this case, this is 70s, maybe early 80s, but some older stuff as well. And I like that mix of looking back to some classics, because we do need to remember the classics. They are the giants upon whose shoulders we all stand, but it's also good to get some new stuff that maybe we haven't seen before. So far, I'm quite thrilled with this July horror pack. But we're only halfway through, and the next one to come out is Hellboy. Which one is this? This is the David Harbour one, which is, I think, the most recent one. It is one that I have seen. I saw this in the theater when it came out, what, 5-6 years ago, I think, at this point. It's been a minute. But I do like the Hellboy movies. I do recall liking this one, even though I don't remember all of the details about it. Again, some of them sort of run together in my mind a little bit, but while I don't recall liking this as much as the first Hellboy movie, it was a fun one. So, looking forward to rewatching this one as well. I like that they sent me the 4K Ultra version. You know, regular Blu-ray is great, but the 4K is just that extra little bit, so that's a nice bonus. For those of you who don't know, I will read the description on this one as well. Good lord, it's got small print, but if I try to adjust my spectacles so I can just make it out, because it is small print, it says, Hellboy is back and he's on fire. In this action-packed story ripped from the pages of Mike Mignola's seminal work, legendary half-demon superhero is called to the English countryside to battle a trio of rampaging giants. You'll just have to forgive me. I'm going to hold this in front of my face because this really is small print and I'm struggling to find a place where it works with my glasses. I'm just going to have to do this, and you'll just have to forgive me for blocking my my view, or your view of me, for just a moment. Carrying on, it says, there he discovers the Blood Queen Nimue, a resurrected ancient sorceress thirsting to avenge a past betrayal. Suddenly caught in a clash between the supernatural and the human, Hellboy is now hell-bent on stopping Nimue without triggering the end of the world. So, now that I read the description, I am remembering more of the details of the story. But it almost doesn't matter. It's Hellboy doing his thing. It's comic book action superhero with a sort of dark, devilish twist to it. I think we all know what Hellboy is, so even if you haven't seen this particular sequel, I think you kind of get the idea. And even though it is one that I have seen, I am glad to have gotten a copy because I did not have one in my collection. So far, so good, but we have one left. And in case you don't know, one of them every month is a HorrorPack exclusive Blu-ray. Sometimes they're autographed, rarely, but sometimes they're autographed editions, or it's never been released on Blu-ray before, or maybe there's extra features or some kind of exclusive. That'll be what this last one is, and it is a film entitled Huntress. According to the spine, this is exclusive number 97. We are creeping right up on number 100, so they've been at this for a while, and while I didn't subscribe with number 1, I came a little bit later, I've been at it for a while too. I've been making these videos for a while, so it's been a minute, but it's been an interesting journey. Anyway, let's read the description, because I'm not familiar with this film. It says, in the grim final days of World War II, Allied forces invade the German homeland. Desperate but unbeaten, German soldiers and civilians will do anything to survive. An American Army medical team is on the run, trapped behind enemy lines as its nurses and medics are hunted one by one by a vicious killer bent on their total annihilation. The team takes shelter in a German chateau, but find themselves in a deadly game of cat and mouse. The aristocratic family that has taken them in is not what they seem. When it's kill or be killed, who will find the will to survive? And I'll tell you what, I like military horror, I like historical horror. World War II lends itself particularly well to the horror genre, not only for the obvious reasons, and God knows we've seen a million Nazi zombie movies at this point, and it makes sense why that has become a sort of subgenre, because the Nazi regime lends itself to the horror genre. But even beyond that, World War II lends itself to horror. In Japan, you had things like Unit 731. In the Soviet Union, even though they were our allies during World War II, Stalin was up to things even then. So there's horror all around. It was, well, the 20th century was the bloodiest in world history, and World War II was a big part of that. So of course it lends itself to the horror genre. I don't know exactly what kind of monstrous secret this aristocratic family is hiding in this movie. I do like the cover art, though. It looks sort of like a sort of gothic style combined with the World War II setting. So yeah, it's not one that I'm familiar with. I've never heard of it. I've certainly never seen it, but it sounds right up my alley, and I'm looking forward to trying this one out as well. So there we go. I think this month was another winner for HorrorPack. We got 4 great new movies, a mix of new and old. Of course, we've got the exclusive. We've got some classic stuff. We've got some popular new stuff. A good mix of serious horror, along with sort of campy pseudo-horror. I think this was a good assortment, and I'm looking forward to all of them. I am pleased with this July 2024 HorrorPack. If you've been waiting for my reviews of the June HorrorPack offerings, I have just finished watching all of those movies. My reviews are in the works. I'm making that video shortly. I was actually planning on filming that tonight at the same time as filming this one, and then arguing with myself for the rest of the night about which one to publish first. Didn't quite happen. The day got away from me, and I didn't have time to do both of them. I just got this one, and I'm going to push this one out as fast as possible. But that review video will be on its way shortly, so make sure you've subscribed and rung the bell so you don't miss out on that. My monthly book review video is also coming very soon, along with some other interesting ideas that I've been plotting secretly here in my hidden lair. But I do believe that's about it for this evening. So I'm going to sign off, bidding you, as always, take care and stay scared.